there's a great range between these very sort of dense lines and slightly lighter shades. And I wondered if you could tell me a little bit about.
I use graphite powder,
Yeah.
so I use a particular graphite block which is called Derwent XL graphite blocks, and I often I powder that up and use it with a stipple brush to get the very graduating these bits. And actually this bit, the darker line, is from another graphite pencil.
So it's all graphite. That's a very dark. So what kind of pencil would that be? Would that be like an 8B?
I think that's probably a 9B.
9B,
actually, yeah. But and I also use sandpaper to distress the paper. And
I can
and the
see.
graphite
I can see
catches.
the backgrounds. There's like little scratches.
Yes, yeah, and that's done with sandpaper.
So would that be the first thing you do?
No, I think I actually did this bit, the figure in the background first, and I created my own stencil.
So that's a stencil,
and pushed the graphite powder through with a stipple brush, and then sandpapered over it, and added more graphite, and then eventually drew a line on the top.
Yeah, so these different processes are really interesting because it creates the idea of different planes. And,
Yes,
and so
yeah.
if you're a spiritual kind of person, you might sort of.
It's called split. It's all
Split,
about
yeah.
removing from yourself, isn't it? Like getting out of yourself, or And you see that one has got another different technique, which is one of my favourite. I indent the paper.
We've got a fingerprint in there.
Yeah, that's one of my motifs, actually.
So you've got a fingerprint and a stencil again, but you've got the negative of
yes.
there. And now you've detailed the face.
That's using graphite powder with a blending tool. So I dip the blending tool into the powder and just
like a sort of
draw with it.
Q-tip or a...
Yes, it is like that, but it's like you can buy them called blending tools. I've got one. There's a proper name
So
for them
you
as
use
well.
it sort of almost like a paintbrush.
Yes, yeah.
Amazing. And then I wanted to go and take a look at the centrepiece. I suppose this is the original of the drawing that graced the front cover of Brighton Art.
Well, it's the same position, but actually it's a different drawing altogether. The one that was on the Arty cover, the Arty book, was a lot smaller. This is it's the same sort of position. It's the peace statue on the seafront.
It's the peace statue. It's beautiful. Yeah.
You can see again. I've indented the paper again. There's the feathers.
If I can pick this up, but there's quite a pattern of feathers which underlies the drawing that you've done on top of it.
Yeah. And again, I've used sandpaper again to create a bit of movement, a bit of texture.
Yeah. And if I might say, you've got a lot more life and dynamism in here than the statue does. I was talking about it with David the other day.
It's rigid as a statue, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, her wings are very sort of upright. So if you've seen the winged Nike of Samothrace.
Oh no.
It's an ancient Greek statue. It's like 2,000 years old.
Oh right, okay.
But her wings are quite ruffled.
Yeah.
Whereas the peace statue,
it's quite rigid. Yeah.
Yeah. But you've completely transcended that in this.
Oh, thank you. That's really kind. Yeah.
So what's going on? What's going on here? We've got this quite detailed underdrawing of wing feathers, which don't really seem to be following the pattern of her wings, or they kind of transcend the boundaries a little bit.
Yes, maybe they do a bit, but I mean they are actually they are meant to correspond with the statue. But
so we've got little feathers here and a much bigger pattern. Yeah. So was that the first thing you did?
Usually that's how I start the picture, but with this one I think I started with this area and then it just built up and then I started adding more. If I'm honest, I wanted to keep it quite contained and just like some loose bits going out, but I filled in more than I was going to, but I think it works, so it's not a problem. But so these happened later on, the indented bits. But often I use the indented line, embossing the paper, or indenting the paper. That's how I build up.
And how can you see how you're working? Do you have a oblique tangential light, or?
I think my eyesight's still pretty good, so I'm lucky. But you know, I can actually, you can see, you know, as you're doing it, you can actually see it.
Yeah.
And there's still loads of, you still see loads of, there's still bits I haven't highlighted.
Yeah,
Still,
you can see what you're doing. Yeah. And then you're drawing on.
Do you use an eraser?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Like a putty rubber or something?
Just a normal eraser, actually.
Right.
Yeah, the putty ones don't work quite as well.
Oh, I see.
So, yeah, these things, the eraser
I'm
they
just
use.
sort of looking at how you sort of find the form in there.
Right then, yeah, the ones I use can smear the graphite quite nicely, which is what I like.
And the other quick question,
Yes,
sorry,
okay.
Yeah, no,
is
it's good.
Is the print?
The fingerprint. Yeah, it's my own fingerprint that I've enlarged on a photocopy once, and I've copied it ever since.
And do you put the sheet in and emboss that first?
No. I indent that on the paper with an embossing tool. So I do that. They're all done individually.
Yeah.
You see how the feathers are done there?
Yeah.
It's the same with every fingerprint you see in all the pictures. I do it all on each piece. I know. Weird. Really. It's a bit obsessive, I know.
I was like looking for the repetition within the sort of things that I was going.
This is a descendant, progeny
Yes, it is.
of a drawing which won the prize.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
For the National Open
National
Arts.
Open, yeah, it won the
couple of
finest
years ago.
drawing prize, yeah. So there's a nice picture of me with Ronnie Wood, which is nice.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
But yeah, I was doing this. I was been working on this, the idea of an eclipse with the mirror ball, and then obviously David Bowie died, and the video for Black Star, it's got like this sort of image, and I call it Black Star. I mean, I know I tried to capitalise on David Bowie's death, but it was just it coincided as I was working on it. It was
I think a lot of people made stuff for
him about. But obviously, you can see all the all the indented line. That's how it works. Yeah.
Yes, I can see that. So do you project something on to get the precision?
No.
You do this entirely
by eye.
freehand.
Yes.
Really, my word. I was assuming you projected an image onto
no.
here.
If you look, it's not all perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The more you look, the more you realise it's very hand done, and it's quite difficult sometimes to do. Sometimes they don't work. Sometimes they do, and it's quite difficult to know if they're going to work or not. But yeah, this was done originally on a white sheet of paper, and I just indented all the mirror ball image before any graphite was put on.